Andrew.
Yes.
For $5 per person, everyone in the room discuss your favorite boss fight from any video game and what makes it your favorite.
Oh.
If you can think of that.
So many.
We want to start with that side of the room?
I've got one already.
I've got one.
I've got one if we're going to
I've got one.
Let's do it. Who's first?
Jordan, kick us off.
Sure.
Should we performance by this?
It's actually not Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts bosses make me rage too much. It's actually from Enter the Gungeon.
Nice.
The spoilers, but this game has been out for a while. The final secret boss, the Lich, is a 3-stage boss that you have spent an hour getting to, and can be simultaneously the most frustrating and most satisfying when you actually get victory over it. And it's one of the best designed, roguelike bullet hell games that I've ever seen, and that boss fight is incredibly well designed.
Can I just count all of Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. When you finally break into the pyramid, you fall through, and it is time to go for damage.
I was also gonna
Yeah,
say
that
Link to
is
the Past.
super satisfying.
But I was gonna say the
Yeah, give it
boss.
to Rick.
Actually, I was gonna say the boss who I remember as a kid finally figuring out you had to blow up his mask, and then you can actually attack him.
You're safe, just don't.
Also, I'm using the pads on my fingers. That was a challenge, intellectual challenge that I had to overcome, figuring out how to beat that boss.
Let me see.
Pedicure first. Ian, do you have one?
Are you too shiny? Are you good?
No, I'm good.
Hang on, sorry, we're getting so much crosstalk.
Yeah, can we keep it to a minimum except for who's talking?
The end of the game, the end boss is played by Bruce Boxleitner, who was Commander Sheridan on Babylon 5, and very emotional character for me just because of what I shared with him through that series. The game is Spec Ops: The Line.
Oh my god.
And it's probably one of the easiest fights to win.
Is it though?
Except that you don't win that game.
Yeah.
You finish the game.
Yeah.
And it's probably the hardest thing I've had to do in a game.
I remember I had to work on an extra credits episode about Spec Ops: The Line before I had a chance to play it, and I had to actually stop working on the episode because I was like, I need to finish this game first.
Yeah. Sorry, that's reminds me of not the boss fight itself, but the aftermath of fighting the boss at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yes.
Where it just draws out and shows the square button.
Yep.
It's like, why are you making me do this? Yep.
The one for me, it goes a little bit further back, and it's partially more about the moment than the boss fight itself. But in Final Fantasy 6 or 3 in America, when you fight Kefka on the floating island and you lose,
I don't remember what happens.
That particularly for me because I played it at a relatively young age. I played some other JRPGs and everything before. This is spoilers, so if you care about spoilers of a game that is 25 years old, plug your ears for a moment, I guess. But everything builds up to you getting on this floating continent to fight Kefka, to defeat him before he can turn himself into this God Emperor, and you lose, and you have to run away, and he tears the world in half, and your party is scattered to the winds. And you wake up as one of your characters on an island a year later, kind of.
Right. Sorry, I thought
I had never played a game before because it builds you up so much for this to be the final boss fight, and then knocks you down and is just no, you lost. The world is terrible. You're at the halfway point at best.
Right. Okay. No, I do remember what you mean.
The top of my head just exploded. It was incredible.
It's pretty nuts. And he starts lasering everything up with the
I didn't know that you could do that in games. It was amazing.
Just lie to your players.
Yep.
So, good challenge.
Well, I mean, I have one.
Please.
Maybe this is boring, but I'm just gonna say Artorias from the Dark Souls DLC. I've actually not beaten the other two bosses. The Dark Souls 1, yeah. I haven't beaten Calamite or Manas, which are apparently super crazy hard, but I did beat Artorias, and he's really, really interesting because to a great extent he punishes any kind of cheap tricks that you may have used up to that point. That fight is just no, you have to play by my rules this time. Like you can't hide behind, you know, cheesing him. I mean, I'm sure there's ways to do it, but it was just like, okay, I have to learn how to dodge now. Like actually.
Cool. Good challenge.